Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Blackforexgroup coming to you with another pre-market analysis video. This morning, we're going to be looking at the USDCHF. Sorry, this is a market analysis, not a pre-market. My apologies. But we're going to be coming at you this morning with the USDCHF. Okay. Well, before we get to breaking down this Forex pair, we have to state that this video is for educational purposes only. This is not for financial advice, okay? But we all know why you guys are here is to find good, credible Forex content to help prove one's ability as a trader and to help put a little bit extra money in your pocket, especially in these troubling times. Okay, now we got that out the way. Let's go ahead and break down this currency pair, okay? Now, as we stated about the USD, let's talk about the fundamentals. The USD, it still currently has the dark cloud of, it still currently has the dark cloud of inflation hanging over, but we did get an increase in the interest rate yesterday, and this morning we got some very good news with the job reports and the other economic news that was concerning the USD. That was also very good, also. So we're going to have to see how these things kind of play out in the market over the long term. But it's a strong possibility that just as much as they hoping that these economic policies are going to actually fix the inflation going on in America, there's a strong possibility that they will still further continue just due to the increased rise in gas prices due to the Russian oil energy sanctions. Okay. So with that said, let's talk about the CHF. Now the CHF still remains one of our weaker currencies. This is just due to the fact that we had some very poor CHF news, Swiss franc news comes out at the beginning part of this week. Also coupled with the fact that it's also going through inflation, and also coupled with the fact of the destabilization of the entire European economy due to the European conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Okay. So, with that being said, we still have, once again, despite what's going on currently with the good economic news and the interest rate, I would still consider USD weak, even though it's technically classified as strong. So, we're still having a battle of which currencies are weaker than the other. Okay. And as we can see, let's talk about the technical analysis now. We were bouncing around on the chart, right? Bounced between two price points for about 30, 45 days plus. Then all of a sudden we broke out of that range at the beginning part of the week because the CHF became much, much weaker than the USD, and we started going up and up and up. And this was precipitated by that very poor CHF news. Okay. And now we've hit this area here where we're looking like we're going to have some retracement. Now let's see if we can identify why we're here. Okay. All right, because we're in the area here, right here, where we have tended to drop last time. So human psyche is going to force convince people to press sell, 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 sell. So that's they're always like to do what they've been doing last time. Okay, but just because it's currently dropping right now does not mean it's a sell. Okay, we're still looking like for the long term we're going to be in a long position with this, but we do have to have some retracement because, like we told people before in previous videos, charts are not unilateral. They just don't go up. They just don't just go down. They have to go up, then go down some, then go up. Okay, so we're going to have some retracement. Now we need to see how far can we retrace to. We can retrace as far as this area here, or we can trace as far as this area here before we continue to go up, or we can possibly range out then continue to go up. Okay, as long as we're not crashing back down into this area here, then we're going to still be going in for the long position. Okay, but for right now, if you're focusing on trading today, you will kind of be short in this trend and looking for the short position. Okay, because it's going to drop at least to this area here, maybe as far as getting here before we have some price turnover. Okay, this is why you don't solely blindly trade off the fundamentals. You don't solely blindly trade off the technical analysis. You take the two, combine them, then you make a good decision, so the most profitable decision. Okay. Now, once again, like I said, it's going to either retrace to this point here before we kind of range out, go up, or we're going to drop to this point here before we kind of range out and go up. But for the most part, throughout this trading session, it's a good chance that we'll be continuing to drop and drop for the latter part of this week into the beginning of next week before we start to go back into our long position. Okay. Hope that information was helpful for you guys. Happy trading.